Okay, so this is my take on your low key base design. So I didn't hate it. I had a couple issues with it that I didn't like. I went ahead and fixed those. That makes it more secure. One, the raised foundations is a huge, huge mess up on your base, honestly. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, dude. The idea sound is just certain ones of those foundations should have been updated so that way it isn't so easily soft-sided. That's one of the problems I was having with it. So I changed a couple things around, mainly from a normal bunker to a pixel bunker, so we didn't have those raised foundations from, which one gives you more space, and two, it's just not so soft-sidable. Is really the big thing. I changed a couple other things, like mainly you see this vending machine over here. Uh, Nowadays, vending machines are needed in bases because, well, with the new drone system, it's really useful to be able to sell something and not have to worry about, losing loot trying to get to outposts. So there's a good reason for that. As you see, I also made it 8 rockets to raid it. Now, you're looking at this right here. It looks like a raised foundation. It's not. It's a half wall with the normal foundation underneath it. Um, this is a raised, and this is a raised foundation. Everything else is lowered foundations. As you see, lowered foundations for everything else. Not trying to make it too much different than what you already had, but let's just go ahead and go through the base real quick a little bit, and I'll show you how the bunker works and why it works. So, as we come in, I got the furnaces to the left-hand side instead of the right like how you had it. That allows me to be able to put the vending machine right here, be able to access it with ease, put our tier 2 right here, and a small box underneath it. As you see, we also have this ladder hatch. Sorry, having a brain fart. If we open the ladder hatch, we have a large box, small box, and your repair bench. I don't like not having a repair bench inside the base in case I need to skin something mostly. But with the new spray can coming out, I might not need it as much, but repairing guns, items, it's always good to have. The main reason why I have the box here is this is going to be our quick drop loot box. So let's say we come in, depot some loot that's on our body so we can go back out real quick. So that way we're not having to run all the way through the base. We can keep all of our garages doors closed and the bunker sealed if we wanted to. The other thing I also added the other thing is I also added another large or ladder hatch right here, so we have an even 2 doors until we hit any garage door. Mind you, that's right against the sidewall right there, but it's armor, so they're gonna look at it and be like, let's see what else we can work with, and they'll probably start blowing their way through. I made all this sheet metal just so that way they can't top down that easy right here, and keeps it 8 rockets exactly to the vending machine right here. Um, you can spend the 4 to get right here, but it's still sheet metal underneath it. I also put this here to hide the bunker wall as best we can. There's other ways of doing this, but this is just real quick temporary, and this is just to kind of hide so you can't really look in there unless you're absolutely trying to. So let's continue on with the door. So the bunker itself works like so. You do it like you would normally would. Seal it up, and as you see, I have it only as sheet metal. It doesn't really need to be high qual right here. I thought it was a bit of a waste to have high qual bunker right here when honestly people are probably not going to raid you through doors. They'll most likely raid you through the back or side walls or something like door tops. So honestly, this is going to be fine. I left this high qual because, well, we don't want them blowing directly to TC. We want them to work kind of forward. So as you see, we got 2, 3, that's 5 rockets right here before you get to the walls. Then another 8 to get in right here, and then another 3 for the garage door. So this is technically the better option, I think. So let's go ahead and open the bunker up on the inside. So as you see, I kept it pretty much the same as what you had. I didn't change things too terribly much. I added a couple shotgun traps in here, a couple of small batteries. I didn't put a small box under here because it's such a tight fit with that tier 3 that if I put a small box, it wouldn't let you put the bunker in. So, like I said, I moved the box over here. You can still access the one under there. It's not going to be too complicated. Added a couple rugs just to give us a little bit of extra comfort right here, so we're not like just sitting in here not getting any comfort. I mean, there's also a barbecue right there for a little bit of comfort, but anyways, I kept with the design so that way you can crouch and still grab everything. As you see, this is a large box instead of a small box. The best way to really do this is, well, before sealing it off, do all the boxes up on top first and then seal everything up. As you see, I made these back walls high qual. I did that because most likely if a raider's going to raid, they're going to use rockets for splash damage, and they're most likely going to raid the back wall for the most part. Depends on which wall they raid. They'll either get the TC or they'll get the secondary loot room, I guess is what you would call this, with the research table and everything right here. I try to keep everything mostly the same, high qual ceiling. This is, on the other hand, high qual right here. Half wall and full wall, just so that way this is going to be the most strongest side right here. And as you see, I also made that high qual for the floor, so that way you can't just hit the bottom layer and get everything to destroy itself and seal up and come in however. There are other ways of doing it, so just saying. Let's go ahead and look at the cost real quick. As you see, it's a little bit more on cost compared to what you had. About 20 or so higher high qual, like 200 or 300 higher metal, a couple hundred stone more. So it's not too terribly much more compared to what you already had, but yeah, honestly, I just thought that this would have been a safer bet than what you were using. Let's go ahead and go through the honeycomb that you're using. So the honeycomb, I kept it exactly the same, even though I don't think that the sheet metal wall is needed. But, I mean, if you're trying to neglect splash damage from the other side, this is going to be a good way to do it because most raiders are either going to blow this wall or this wall. They're not going to hit this wall. They know that's honeycomb. Why would they spend an extra 4 rockets going in the center? Most people won't do it. But like I said, just keeping it with your design so that way we're not changing anything too much up. And as you see, I've kept these as high wall or full walls down at the bottom with half walls on top, just like how you had it. I had this as a raised foundation and this as a raised foundation to kind of throw raiders off and stuff. So anyone who has watched your video and seen your base design, they'll be like, oh, well, I got through one door and I'll just soft side this right here and get past the bunker. And well, no, that's just going to get them to your drop box and your workbench or your repair bench. They won't even be able to get to your furnaces or anything else, so it's still pretty secure. And like I said, I'm trying to keep it with a even raid cost as best as possible for your design. Beyond that, I think I've walked through everything that I've changed, except for this right here. It's just so that way we can look out here and see if somebody's camping down here, but honestly, it's still going to be pretty hard to see if someone's camping if they're down here like so, waiting for you to come out your base. It's one of the reasons why I don't like raised foundations near the exit, but like I said, I'm trying to stick with your design because I didn't hate it. I just seen a couple things that we could kind of improve on, I think. Beyond that though, I'm not sure if you have any other questions that you might have about this base. Like I said, try to keep it to the bare minimum of the bare minimum. Nothing too fancy. None changed up too much. Except for this, that, and the bunker. Honestly, everything else is about the same. Well, that's my take on the low key and some improvements I think it needed. Alright.